Hey guys, Wayne Jennings here with a new device I'm going to check out today. This is the INKEE Falcon stabilizer. It's a powered gimbal, and basically this little device will allow you to take your action camera to the next level. Most of today's action cameras have some form of electronic image stabilization built in, and for the most part they do a half decent job. But if you want really smooth footage, and if you want to be able to put the camera into certain positions and get a nice steady shot, you really need something like this. This is a powered image stabilizer or gimbal, and it basically uses three little motors that are constantly on and monitoring the movement of the camera. So no matter which way you move the gimbal, the camera stays nice and steady, which is really great if you're walking or running or doing any kind of shot with a lot of movement. This keeps things really steady. Now, this particular unit, the INKEE Falcon, was sent to me by the company. I did not purchase this myself. It's a new product, and the company wanted some people to review it. So they sent it to me, and it's actually a really neat little product. I've often thought about buying one of these myself, but just never got around to it. So I'm really glad they sent it to me because it really performs well. And the nice thing about this, you know, it has, like I say, the pitch, yaw, roll, keeps the camera steady. But in addition to that, there's a little button on the back here where you can actually pan and tilt the camera like a power zoom here. You can turn it around. It's a little thumb control, so that's really neat. But the other cool thing, unlike some of the other products out there, this one actually has a Bluetooth connection. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little green LED on the back here. And basically, with certain models, in this case with the GoPro Hero 8 I'm using, it connects by Bluetooth, allowing me, basically it becomes remote control. There's three little buttons on the side here, so I can snap a still image, record video, or even hit this button and do a time lapse. So I could be running down the street doing the time lapse and get a cool hyper time lapse shot. The INKEE Falcon 3-axis gimbal is compatible with a number of action cameras, including various GoPro models, the DJI Osmo action camera, and the Insta360 ONE-R. The gimbal weighs in at 310 grams, that's 10.9 ounces, and it will support a camera load of up to 200 grams, that's about 7 ounces. It features an internal rechargeable 2500 milliamp hour battery, and it retails for around $100 to $120 US. The gimbal comes with everything you see here. In addition to the powered stabilizer itself, you also get a folding tripod base, a USB Type-C charging cable, 2 sizes of camera mounting bolts and 2 Allen keys, a quick start guide, and a padded carrying pouch. The Falcon Power Gimbal is a nice size, not too big, not too small, fits nicely in the palm of your hand. It's this nice, attractive black finish. The base or the handle appears to be made of a plastic material, and the upper portion, which houses the 3 motors, some kind of metal alloy. It appears to be maybe aluminum or something, but that looks like it's going to be a nice durable material. Now, to mount the camera, there is a basic slotted mount here that takes the GoPro inspired slot mount, and depending on what camera you use, you may have to adjust it up or down or in or out. And there are some little set screws on the bottom here which allow you to make those adjustments. That's why it comes with this little Allen key. So you can put that in, loosen it, slide it back and forth, and tighten it up. Again, depending on which particular camera you have, because different cameras weigh different amounts and have different centers of gravity. Now also, on the end here, you would normally use one of these little bolts to go in and fasten your camera. And again, you know, that's typical standard size that a lot of these action cameras use. But the weight of that could throw the balance off, so they also include this bolt. It's basically fits in there as well, but it's a lot smaller. So if you know, weight is an issue, you can use that one instead of the bigger one. Now just to show you basically the front here, this is what you would see. You kind of hold that with this towards you. This is your main operating center where you have your power switch. Beside that is a mode button with the M on there, and as you push that, it cycles through. There's different LEDs up here. It'll cycle through the different modes you're using. And this is a little thumb action joystick, and by pushing that you can actually move the camera, pan it left, right, tilt up, tilt down. So that's a kind of neat little extra feature you can add to the movement of your camera. On the side here is a charging port. Now this power gimbal uses an internal battery. You cannot switch that out. So basically once that dies, you have to recharge it. That's the only kind of downside to an internal battery like this. But it uses a USB-C, which it comes with a cable, and you basically just plug that in. And then there's a series of LEDs on the front here, and they glow to indicate the charging status from 1 to 4. So when the first one's glowing, it's basically 25% charged, and when they're all glowing solid, it's 100% charged. Now let's flip around to the back. This is what they call the trigger switch there. So as you're holding it, you would use your index finger there to push it. And basically what that does, that just, if you push that, that can lock the whole device so that there's no movement. It's locked solid. Also, by pushing that, you activate what they call the selfie mode, where the camera actually swings around and points at you, so you get some really nice, steady selfie shots. And another thing I really like about this particular gimbal, on this side, we have these 3 buttons, which will allow you to remotely operate certain cameras. I know it works with the GoPro cameras. Basically, it uses Bluetooth. There's a little LED here which will glow to indicate when you've connected. But basically, you can use these triggers. So when the camera's on there, you don't have to reach up and turn the camera on or hit record. Basically, when you power the gimbal and it's connected with the Bluetooth, the camera powers on. Then if you push this top button, you can snap a still picture. You push this red button, you can record video. And if you push the bottom button, you can record time lapse. And then when you're done, and you push the power button, the camera will also power down. So that's a nice little extra feature that this gimbal has. Now this little gimbal is very impressive. It's got multiple functions and modes, and they're easy to turn on just by hitting the mode switch on the back here. But the 3 that I find are most useful, one is the pan following mode, the other is the pan tilt following mode, and the third one is called FPV. I guess that's short for first person view. It basically uses all 3 axes. It's better explained if I show you a close-up of each of those modes and show you exactly how it works. This is the panning mode, and as you can see, when I pan the gimbal around, the camera stays focused on what I'm looking at. It maintains that forward view and a nice even level panning shot. So even if I tilt the gimbal from side to side like this, rotate it, it still maintains a nice level panning shot. And even if I tilt down or up, it still looks forward. So that is the pan following mode. So we'll switch the mode down here. Next one is the pan tilt mode. And what that does, that just adds the tilting function. So you can still pan from side to side. and you get that nice steady shot. And if you rotate it, it still maintains that nice level horizon. But the difference here is if you tilt it down, it actually looks down onto the floor. And if you tilt it up, it looks up and sees whatever is above you. So that's adding that tilt function. Now we'll hit it once more, and we get the FPV, first person view. And what this does, it basically allows you to tilt it to the side, and the camera in fact does tilt. So if you want to do some interesting shots, some sideways shots, this will allow you to do it. And you also have the tilt function in here to look down and look up, but it just adds the side to side tilt function. One of the really nice features found on this powered gimbal is the fact that it has a 1/4-inch tripod socket on the bottom here, which is neat because it opens up a lot more possibilities. It comes with this little adapter which turns into a mini tripod, and it's just got a 1/4-inch thread on the bottom which screws on like so, and then you can spread it out and it becomes a little tripod. So if you need to set it down to get a static shot, it's a nice way maybe to start a shot. So it's, say, sitting on a table getting the shot, somebody walks by and you can just pick it up and follow them. So it's kind of one continuous shot. Really nice way to obtain that kind of shot. But I also like the fact that this folds up, and so when you don't need it, you know, it's there, and then you can spread it out when you do need it. But it also acts as a bit of a double grip if you want to get that two-handed shot. It just helps kind of extend it. But what also is nice is the fact that I can take this off and replace it with something like my Monopod. This is a really expensive Monopod. I think it cost me less than $20. Again, a 1/4-inch thread on the top. Just put it on like so. And basically now you're open to all kinds of creativity because it has extended your shot, so you can get it a lot further away. So if you're doing a selfie, that's great. This particular one, let me just back up here. This one extends really far. So I can get some nice high angle shots, or I can get some nice low, very low to the ground, so I don't have to bend over. So if you're doing a shot where you're following someone's feet as they're walking, or the tires of a bike, or, well, there's a bridge behind me here. I'm going to get a shot where I walk along and you're looking out between the bridge fencing there, you're looking out over the water. And that's really easy to do with this kind of setup. So I'll get that shot right now, and then I'll show you what it looks like. You can also get a really nice high angle boom style shot using the Monopod. With the Monopod attached, you can get some really nice horizontal shots like a dolly shot or tracking shot. Of course, there's always that cool flying through the car shot. Another really nice thing about this image stabilizer, it has a selfie mode. I mean, right now the camera's pointing away from me, so as I walk, I get a steady shot in front of me. But if I hit this trigger button on the front, if I hit it 3 times, the camera swings around and points directly at me, so I can get a great selfie shot. So let's just do that. We'll hit it 3 times here. 1, 2, 3. Camera swings around, it's pointing right at me. I can walk down the road and get my selfie shot. So here we are, walking down the road. Here's my selfie shot, nice and steady. So there you have it, the INKEE Falcon 3-axis gimbal. In my opinion, a great little image stabilizer that works very well when paired with my GoPro action camera. Thanks for watching.